Okay, it's time to score the last arc. Man, this has been the best arc that I've ever done on this game. I'm an aggressive player. I like an aggressive game. All the loops and PvE stuff that they've been loading us on in this game to so you can actually compete has been a beatdown. Having a PvP based arc was just what the doctor ordered for me. It revitalized my game. I even changed alliances to be with more aggressive players because I knew that was the way this arc would be best played. I'll give you my grade right away overall, and I'll tell you why the video will be telling you why I thought this was such a great arc, and I'll tell you the stuff I didn't like because there were a couple of elements that could have made this arc even better. I give this arc an A, and I'll tell you why. So this arc was part one of the Gorn invasion, and we got a new building, new hostiles, new officers, of course, missions, refits, forbidden tech, artifacts, primes, battle pass. The war room. No, this was a controversial thing. There's people that hate this war room. There's people that see the value of the war room. This was a good add to the game because the bonus this building gives you, the rewards for the event that goes with it to build your war chest, that could be better. Prizes or rewards that go to it are too low. It could be better. And here's what it can include. You got your resources, both the basic and the Sigma materials, and all this is based on your ops level, so it's going to be stuff that you need. You got ship parts, you got these emblems of honor, which is used to upgrade the building, and you get these seals, which I haven't got enough of the seals yet. The war room gives you shield health boost, officer stat boost, and isolytic damage boost. And the isolytic damage is important for the new hostiles, the Gorn Hunter hostiles. These were hostiles that you need isolytic damage to do the most damage to. You can do it. There's one crew that was actually pretty good, that not a big isolytic damage crew that did well on them, which you can see from a video. It kind of feeds on all the artifacts and other boosts that you have in the game with isolytic damage. But to me, the new officers that are reduced in the game as a crew is the best one to use on this one. Especially after I tiered them up to tier 2, it's the only crew I would use on that because Chapel has the bonus for the loot. And we'll talk about those officers in a minute. They added quality of life changes. They added some packs into the X Borg tree that for all these loops, the Fuchsia, the Monavine, the Stella, the Mantis, the Defiant, and the Talios. Now, one that they don't have mentioned here is the Meridian, where I don't have to mine ISO anymore. I can go there every other day, grab a pack, and I'm good. And it uses like the regular X-Borg loot that you get off the freebooters. So you don't sacrifice any of your building of some of the stuff in there that you're trying to build in the X-Borg. Some of the favors, you don't have to sacrifice those to boost your game, which thank you, Scopely, on that. Even if some of you guys aren't PvP players that hate the rest of this is a game changer for anyone that's in the game. And what's great about this, they got it based on the level of the ship or how much engagement you have. Say if you got a tiered out Stella, you're going to get 10 times the stuff, and it goes through here. The one, like I said, the one that I'm using right now is the Mantis because I don't like having to go in there and grind. I go in there and do a big grind, and it lasts me for the rest of the month. Now I don't have to do that. And I do the Meridian, which is listed here. Now, the officers, I'm going to talk to you here on this page, and then I'm going to move to the game and show you how I use them. I know that there's been a video posted by one of the content creators. He kind of downplayed how good this officer is, just because he's not using it with the right crew. Because you need him with Sam. Together, those guys are pretty powerful right out of the box, tier 1. Are they as good as my Janeway crew? No, not now. Tier 3, maybe. These are powerful officers. I mean, if you got it crewed right, you got to have it crewed right, just like anything else. So what you get with that, you get a big mitigation boost, especially when you put him with another health officer like Chapel or Hemmer. You get the full mitigation with Sam Kirk, and I believe with Strange New World Pike, you get the 1500. But we'll see that here in a second. His officer ability is really good too. It increases shield health every round versus the hostiles. And like I said, these are PvE crews. Another PvE crew, you're saying. Yeah, but these guys are going to be really valuable I think, for all the 61 plus guys and the 50s, because you're going to be able to punch up with these guys, and I'm already doing that with them. And we're going to get to Sam Kirk. He is a pretty strong officer. I haven't used his captain's ability. It looks like it's pretty decent, but like I said, if I'm going to use this crew, Mabinga is going to be my captain in this one. I might be able to use him in combination with the other Strange New World characters, and to do something else with. Like, say, if I wanted to use, I don't know, if I wanted to use Mabinga on something else, that could be a possibility too. New officer, who knows what all the applications you could have with the guy. I use him as his officer's ability. He increases the critical damage by 40 tier 1, 90 where I got him, and he's awesome right now. 150 when I take him to tier 3, 230, 350. So you can see, paired together with their mitigation and stuff, man, they're really good together. Okay, let's talk about Nurse Chapel. Nurse Chapel is going to be one of the more valuable lower deck officers in the game. I don't know which one's more valuable, her or Hugh, right now. I have to use it in the different situations, but I can tell you, with her lower deck, I'm able to punch up 2 levels of hostiles in 6-star with her. Nurse Chapel at tier 2, and it helps me do those dailies quick. So she is she is the most valuable, but I think that some of the content creators or YouTube guys who do this, they are underselling you how good Mabinga and Sam Kirk is the set against the Gorn hostile. Now, how I would use them against other hostiles, let's go to the game. Okay, this would be my loadout if I was going to do the Gorn. I'm able to just crush the 63s. Even when I had one less chair down here, when my Rotaran was 1 tier down, I was able to crush those 63s with this. And I think you've seen the video. I got a video out doing the Gorn Hunters, and you can see at tier 1, they were pretty good at tier 1. Tier 2 for Kirk and Mabinga, there's no question which crew that you want to use on the Gorn. And this is the setup that I use. I use Chapel on the side, but now if I'm going to, the only one that's not going to be here, I put E-Data, so it'd be easier to show you my crew if I was going to hit regular hostiles. I'll do that. I wouldn't use E-Data down here. I'd use another officer, probably Odo. I just put E-Data there so I wouldn't you see me scrolling down here looking for him. But this crew against regular hostile is pretty good. Almost as good as my meta, which is Janeway and the Doctor. Right now, that's my top crew for PvE. But like I said, that's going to be probably short-lived. That these guys are going to be, as soon as I get either one or both of those to tier 3, I can imagine this will be my regular crew. They're strong. They just, like I said, the content creator who did a video of this didn't have Sam Kirk on the side to help you out. Um, I still can grind more 65s with my Janeway crew that I just showed you. But when I go for 66, this one does more damages on 66 than the Janeway crew. But I can grind more right now, the 65s with Janeway. And there's not that big of a gap, to be honest with you. There just really isn't. If I maybe tweaked the lower a little bit and try to find the perfect blend of the right ones to go. See, for now on, my lower deck for PvE is always going to be it's going to be Hugh, BT, Troy, and Chapel, and these three are the ones that are going to change depending on my loadout size and whatever. Say I couldn't use all three of them, leave Chapel and take Troy out, and use BT and Hugh. Let's go back to the list, and they added some refits, some forbidden text, and some artifact. To me, mostly meh on this. These were not game changers. There's a couple of cool ones in here. I only spent on one. Now there's one that I do want to get, but I'll go through it. Okay, this transwarp drive, this makes you be able to jump like your Discovery. You can go instantly into a system that you want to go. That's cool, but again, to me, it's another turd polishing thing. This refit for the Voyager here, the sensor unlock, this is a pretty cool thing. What it can do is it can tell you how long the shield has left on bases, and it also gives you a cargo boost. I'm not really actively into this loop. I've already tiered out my Voyager. I'm just doing the mining stuff right now. If I was going to be doing some of the other stuff, this might be worth it. Shield expiration deal is cool, but I don't know. I probably won't purchase it, to be honest with you. But I won't argue with anybody who thinks that's worth buying. New forbidden tech, this isolytic weapon here. I bought this, not for it per se. I got it because what this does, it unlocks a thing in your forbidden tech refinery where you can get shards for the isolytic artifacts. For right now, where I got it, every 2 days I get a pull from there. It was worth it for that. It has a boost for the Gorn hunters. If you're having problems taking those guys out, you can put this in the ship that you're going to use to grind them, and it's going to give you some help. It also has whole health for all ships, isolytic damage, defense, and increased damage on all hostile. This is a pretty decent forbidden tech. I just stuck it on one of my ships. I'm going to have to do a reshuffling of all my forbidden techs here. I'm about to add another ship in a couple of weeks, and I've got to decide which one I'm going to stick this on. And right now, I've got it. I think it's got it on my Enterprise A, just because I wanted to check it out. I don't need it, to be honest with you. I can, like I said, with my crewing, I don't need the extra Gorn boost, but I know some of you might. This would be a good thing to invest in if you're having issues trying to take those guys out. It gives you automatic isolytic damage. This artifact here, I told everyone I bet this breaks the game, and it did. When it first got introduced, they had to quickly do a hot patch to fix this. It's a cool concept, but I'm not going to pay $100 for it. So no, I passed on that one. Primes. This is one I'm thinking about purchasing. I haven't purchased it. This one looks like a pretty powerful one. It's one that I'm thinking about when I got some extra cash. The mining right primes, I passed on those. Another one for the cube, adding isolytic damage. Now, if you're going to use the cube to grind Gorn, this might be good. But other than that, I passed on that one. Here's another one that I'm definitely going to get. I think it'll be worth it. One that when I have extra cash, that I will. And like I said, they had the battle pass. The battle pass was pretty good this time. Had some really good officers in it, some stuff that you needed in the game. I'm a fan of always purchasing the battle pass. If you got the money for the elite version, more power to you. But I always at least buy the guess whatever the $20 one or whatever it is, the low one. Every once in a while, I'll do the elite if it has officers that I think that I'm gonna need help getting. Because you get like 20 of the current officers most of the time in those. So if I think I'm going to have a hard time in the leaderboard event, then maybe. And it's an officer that I want. Now, here lately, I haven't bought the elite. I didn't this time, um, and I kind of regret it because at first I thought I kind of bought in like everyone else that Chapel was going to be the only good officer in this bunch, and she was going to be in the store for sale. So, I'd rather spend the extra money on a Chapel pack than the money on the battle pass. And I was wrong on that. I probably should have got the elite one this time, and that would have gave me some extra Sam and Mabinga shards, but I didn't. And they boosted the territories. They gave us some new stuff there. They also had a reset of the territories, which was really good because it helped in the events, the PvE events, because they had to capture the territory, so there was always ships that you could go in and score on. So I'm just glad that they reset it. The events, okay, it was the main PvP event. I had an issue with that because they had no power bonus on it, and hitting the guy's Rienta or an Enterprise D scored the same. And I think if they would have put some kind of power boost on the scoring, some of these guys that are crying about the PvP, that would have eliminated that. Because if I got a choice of scoring 200 points for some guy's little ship or 1,000,000 points for hitting a guy's Enterprise D, which one am I going for? Of course, on my server, we had a few lame alliances decide, oh, we're going to go and spam each other and score high on this event. Now, the first round, they did it before my alliance could stop them from doing it. But the second time around, there was only one alliance that did that. And only thing I could figure is they did is a few of them dropped their alliances tags and let the other guys hit them because there was not a second alliance that scored big like that. That's really the only reason this doesn't get an A+ for me is because the event designer left some exploits in a couple of these events, and like the first round it ruined it because these three alliances decided that they were going to spam each other and score real high instead of having the cojones and go out and fight and earn your points. They're going to go and trade Rienta hits and score instead of being. I mean, I want to use some strong words, but I'm afraid I'll get knocked by YouTube for saying it. But it was a coward's way out. Let's put it that way. They were a bunch of cowards instead of doing the event like it was supposed to be ran. And also the Katamir event. It was supposed to be an event for you to hit the Gorn. You got a bonus for hitting the Gorn, but they didn't look at the fact that for damage that the aquatic scored trillions where the Gorn scored millions or billions. So we had guys going up there and making big runs on the aquatics, which I had to do because I needed it to score for the main event that ran the whole arc wise. So I had to go up there and do something I didn't like. I had to go up there and run some aquatic runs just so I could finish in the top. I think I got second both times, but I'd rather it just been the Gorn. That would come down to who can crew their ships the best. I wished it would have rewarded that instead of rewarded somebody hitting another hostile that wasn't meant to be involved. Also, I want to say that there were other hostiles that almost scored as high as the Gorn, like your Borg probes and some other stuff. When I was doing my daily stuff, I noticed that the points were almost the same. What should have happened is the Xindi not count at all. And what they should have done is they should have bumped up the Gorn instead of being, I don't remember what the percentage was, but maybe 150 or 200% higher to hit the Gorn than the rest. But because you needed an element for people that weren't strong enough to even hit them to be able to score and finish like the milestone events and stuff. But if the Gorn's supposed to be your main hostile for the event, you can't have another hostile that scores higher than that. That's just bad design. Those are really the only two knocks I have on this whole art is the scoring of the events. If they would have fixed the event, put a power destroyed in the main PVD event, and that last thing when that thing lasted like 5 days or something, if they would have put a power destroyed on that would have been a perfect event. And then if they would have made sure that the Gorn scores higher than any other hostile for that event. That's all I got, man. I was pleased. I'm looking forward for round 2. Until next time.